Let me show you what a fast transition looks like in the clean. Let me show you what it looks like in the snatch. Let me show you how these quick transitions work in detail. Greetings, veteran. Gregory from Lebe here. On this YouTube channel, it's about all things kettlebell. So if this is your first time here, leave a like and consider subscribing. The kettlebell is so awesome because it allows you to work unilaterally as well as bilaterally. When you switch from one side to the other, most people use the standard hand-to-hand swing motion. Maybe there's a time when you want to go a little faster, and this video is all about these quick and fast transitions. We got to do some housework before we look at the transition, so the first thing that we're going to look at is the clean. We believe that the clean has 6 phases. We start in phase 0, the so-called hinge ready phase. We call it phase 0 because you use it in the swing, the clean, and the snatch. First phase is you pull the kettlebell back and you use a so-called low swing or a inertia swing to transport the kettlebell in the horizontal plane forward. Phase number 2 is the acceleration pull, where you pull the kettlebell using most of your power from your hips and you switch from the horizontal plane into the vertical plane. Phase 3 is the hand insertion, where you switch the kettlebell from the finger grip and the so-called hook grip. It's the trickiest thing to master for beginners. Phase number 4 is when we rack the kettlebell in the rack rest position. Make sure that your elbow makes contact with the iliac crest of your hip. Phase 5, if we go backwards, is we lean back and we drop the kettlebell. We can also call it the so-called amortization phase. I straighten my arm, so I let the kettlebell drop. I'm leaning back to compensate for the gravitational pull, and then the final phase is the kettlebell goes back into the backswing. So the standard transition is a hand-to-hand swing in between sides. Looks like this. Got the kettlebell in the rack rest position. Now I'm switching. I got the standard transition, which takes a bit more time. So the first of these 2 faster transitions happens between the backswing or the low swing and the acceleration pull. Normally, I would use the same arm to use the acceleration pull to get the kettlebell from the horizontal into the vertical plane. With this faster transition, I'm actually switching arms or hands right between the backswing and the acceleration pull, and it looks like this. What you really need to master this transition is a proper hook grip. The second transition happens between the drop amortization phase and the backswing. Normally it's the same. I would use the same arm to go into the backswing and then pull it back up. But in this case, I'm switching hands right on top. Looks a little something like this. This transition demands a proper finger grip. When we talk about the snatch, we want to take a look at the phases from the bottom to the top. We started in the hinge ready phase, the same like in the clean, then backswing. What I'm using here is a pretty strong hip acceleration. Boom, the kettlebell goes up. Acceleration pull, hand insertion, overhead top fixation. Looks a little something like this. The switch happens between the hip acceleration, where we use a lot of hip drive, and the acceleration pull. So it's the same with the clean, but it happens on a higher altitude. Looks a little something like this. I wouldn't recommend the snatch switch multiple times because it can be a little tricky for your shoulder. Instead, what you want to do is once you finish your set with the right arm, for example, and then you want to switch, directly switching the kettlebell in the overhead top fixation and then rest and then give a good break to really tense your lats, to really fix the kettlebell, to make sure your shoulder is stable and safe. When it comes to the question of when to use what transition, I would say it is a matter of preference. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like it and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of this kettlebell stuff. See you in the next one. Peace out.